Hey up guys, what's going on? Welcome back to York City, where I've decided I'm going to do it like this. This is the semi-final second leg. If anything interesting develops during this, it will appear in full. If nothing really happens in it, then you'll just get the result. Well, the game ended 2-2, so we are in the Champions League final. They did score quite early on, but then we scored two quite shortly after that, which made it pretty comfortable in the end. Reasonably even game on paper, but first leg saw us through no matter that issue there. So today may end up being an unprecedented 3 and a bit games. We've done 3 games before, but we've never done 3 and a bit. And, well, there's the bit. Bayern Munich are the opponents, by the way. There's the news. We're waiting now for 1-2. That's fine. I was going to rest him against the League City game anyway. So today, the idea is we're going to play as many Premier League matches as we can. And if we lose the opportunity to break the points record, then we just stop there, really. So it could end up being a really short episode, or it could end up being a slightly bumper episode if it goes all the way to the final day. No real team news to speak of either. Is there anyone I consider worthy of the Best Player in Europe award? Yes, most of my team. I'm going to say Clemente again, just because I know he's good. Why have none of mine in there? Carpentier is on a 7.5 for the season, for God's sake. Top Premier League player. Why did none of these 3 get in that list? 2 other Manchester City teams were the options there, but not Aladima. Bloody hell. What's this game doing? Man United do play Arsenal, which might help out Norwich. They've hopefully got an easy 3 points against Brighton later on. I'm really rooting for them. I know it's Leeds had Watford as well, which might be 3 points for them too. Push that European spot. I think it's partially probably just because this year's title's been largely anticlimactic. It's been a cakewalk, frankly. I've got invested in other success stories. So with us being away at Manchester City, we're going to line up as follows. Christian in goal, Saxton, Azarto and Washington in the back line. Moreno's little knock meant he's not perfectly fit for this one. I was going to do this anyway, so it didn't really make that much of a difference. Just want to keep rotating those back two. And more importantly, Washington. Get Washington the 5 Premier League appearances he needs. Bloody rules. Shout out to the right back because Fiore's not back from injury. Teko in the defensive role with Vidarson and Seri ahead of him. Carpentier and Yurchenko because of form on the right-hand side, and Godoy up front because of form as well. Still 6.3 for Gonzalez, of course, he didn't play the last game. Right, I'm not really sure what's happened to Washington, by the way. 2.5 stars, he's just vanished from the 4 stars. They've gone very defensive, I do notice that. Courage and Jamaica's in their back line. I did question about his existence, I think in the Champions League match, was it? And I just know David Curvo, though, full stop. He was one of the casualties, wasn't he? Because there were 3 casualties for Manchester City in our first leg, and then Adam Wright got injured in the last leg as well. So they're down 4 players, I'm pretty certain. We found Yurchenko in the box there, who scored 10 goals this year. Which I face it is more than Cantoro, just by the fact Yurchenko's only really started playing football regularly in the last couple of months. But it's once again that man Saxton, and Yurchenko just finds... I mean, the goalkeeper's absolutely messed that one up. Mehmet Man got a little impatient there, did Mehmet Man? I know you said Igor, who for some reason is at number 11, despite the fact he's nowhere near their starting lineup. Godoy, always love it when he comes on though. I do appreciate the Igor. Weird choice by Godoy there. Went really, really wide and then just kicked it straight at Mehmet Man. Aha, Leeds seem to be doing something now. I was slightly concerned by that because they were 6 points behind that Chelsea spot. We play Chelsea next, of course, so we can help Leeds out here. The Leeds have gone ahead. Then 53 points is them being ahead. So if Chelsea lose, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do. 57 points is too much. They can only get to 56 can lead. So well, that's a shame. I almost don't mind losing the FA Cup now, although it's a derby, so I really should. Notably though, this Arsenal-Norwich situation not over. 6.4 from Seri. Teko is the one that's booked, of course. Right, the 3 players that are booked are the 3 players I can't take off because they don't have replacements. Seri, however, I can do something with. In fact, you know what? Victor Vidal. Swap him over with Vidarson. There we go. Get him some game time. Why not? Yurchenko's booked. He's on a 6.9 because he's scored. I kind of want to take Vidarson off as well anyway because he's tired. The most tired. On comes Buell. No idea how you're supposed to pronounce that one. Still not a clue. Carpentier on a 6.5. Off you come, sunshine. Saxon's on 8.4. He's only done an assist. Slightly odd that Carpentier gets listed as an elite attacking midfielder whilst Ramirez is an elite winger, despite the fact that Carpentier's main 2 positions are winger and striker, that he gets listed as attacking midfielder, a position he doesn't play any of the time. Although I've got to be honest, there weren't a lot of highlights, but it's a 1-0 victory which keeps us in the run. I want to say you got away with it, but I have no idea. The fact there weren't any highlights suggested we didn't really make a lot of chances. So a Chelsea loss might have done it. Well, I don't know. I don't know what Watford have equalised anyway, so I don't know if Chelsea were winning at the point when they had 57 points, but either way, I think the fact that Watford got a late equaliser ruins Leeds' chances of 7th. I'll see the table once this last one's popped in. Norwich do the 3 points, so that's good news for them. It did, yes. So Chelsea ended with 55. If Leeds had held on there, they would have had a chance. Man United play Arsenal tomorrow, I think. So we'll keep an eye on that result when it comes through. I think United are home, so you'd think they'd win that. It's a shame, really, because I kind of want Arsenal to get Champions League football as well, but not at the expense of Norwich in this situation. So a draw. I mean, for the final day, a draw essentially is exactly the same situation as a win for Man United here. Arsenal's goal difference was far better. Although Norwich winning and Arsenal drawing now would be enough for Arsenal. So we've got to play a catch-up match with Chelsea now. One that's been shunted around the schedules about 14 times. I feel sorry for anyone who had tickets for it, the original, or had booked a hotel in anticipation for it. So I don't really see much need to change anything from last time out. However, I am going to put Fiore back in. He's okay for 75 minutes, so I figured get him the game time now, get that match sharpness up as much as we possibly can before the finals kick in. You know what, it might be a little bit of a bold choice as well, but I'm going to give Vidal a go. Just for old time's sake, it's Chelsea. He does like Chelsea. Quite a few real players still in Chelsea's side. Vinicius Jr., Mount, Dantas, Barrow, Militao in their defensive line. I don't know when they got him. Have they had him this entire time? No, recently, just the last year. 35-year-old. Possibly part of the problem. We did actually identify that Chelsea had a defensive situation when we first looked into why they were underperforming. I think they were down to one key defender at that point. So the fact they've decided to fill that gap with a 35-year-old Militao, interesting choice. Carpentier's got his 28th goal of the season and pulls one ahead of Gonzalez, who of course isn't playing these away matches with just the one striker. But Saxton is found on his left-hand side. I believe it goes into Vidal here. It does, whose first shot is somehow intercepted by the thin air next to one of their defenders. We have a new highlight that starts with the goal kick, and now in the midfield with nobody in particular, as that was a wayward pass from Ivan Seri. Number 31 decides to follow the striker, despite the fact we have another defender who can do that. I presume 31's Washington. Washington, mate. We have two defenders for a reason. You don't both need to follow the same player. But once again, not exactly rife with highlights. Teko, corner, second goal of the year. It's somehow bypassed the head of, I think that would be Washington on the near post in this situation, and gone straight to Teko's foot. Now, of course, Zata playing out of position, or not even playing today. Don't know who's actually taller out of Washington and Moena. Teko, Yachenko, Godoy's on the edge of the box. Farina pushes that onto the post. Good God, what was that defensive choice? It's found its way to Vinicius Jr., surprisingly. What a lovely set of deflections it is, and it ends up with Christian. There's defensive nonsense at both ends there, but it is 2-0, and we're looking good for our 102 points as things stand. Can't believe the one match we have actually lost this year was a home match, and it was Everton. Not even any of the 6 that are in the top 6 with us. Or 5, I should say. That's wide. Everton. The worst part is, we've dealt with Manchester City, we've dealt with Chelsea, we've dealt with the other big teams that are in the run in here. If we cock it up now, we cock it up against Southampton. Fiore punts that one all the way to Godoy. Countrymen, I'm pretty certain, both Argentines. Wide. It was brilliant by Godoy, it says there. That's a lie, it was brilliant by Fiore. Godoy's touches were questionable at best. I said he was only good for 75, so off you come, Sunshine. We'll respect that. No one really playing actually all that badly. The least fresh is Yachenko with 20 minutes to go, so we'll make that change. Just change the entire right-hand side at the same time, why not? Teko left-back, Saxon left-back's been booked. In fact, the entire back line's been booked now, so not a lot of jiggery-pokery I can do there to save things. I mean, 3 minutes to go, just in case Grimes gets a bit moody. On he comes. I don't know if that'll placate him at all. I feel like he's not played in a little while, and he got moody last time he didn't play for a while. Shaunan's been fouled, I'm pretty certain, in the box. A penalty is given just to rub salt in Chelsea's wounds today, as Godoy is going to be on this one. Of course, I've taken off penalty expert Yachenko, so he's put it away. We needed that, really, because the last 2 penalties we've missed under the stewardship of Gonzalez. I don't think I can say the word stewardship. Anyway, Godoy, nicely done. Opposite corner to the way the goalie goes. Not really much he could have done about it if he'd gone the right way either. That's what you want from a penalty. Chelsea actually got quite into that second half. We didn't really do a sensational amount. But 3-0, well done. They might be 7th and they might be struggling still. At the end of the year, you idiots. The situation with Yachenko is he's one of those 2034 ones, so he was going to get one anyway. Might as well do it now. I could tell him to sack his agent, but he still only wants to be a squad player, so might as well do it now. I mean, 105 is a bit much still, that. I don't notice that. There we are, 90k, problem done. There is a 10% in it, but I'll be fine. Yeah, might as well give him one just because he was going to get one anyway at the end of the year regardless, because I wanted to make sure he didn't go anywhere when we simulate. Or at least if he does go somewhere, it's not for free. I think Azarta's the only one that's still remaining on that one. But that's only because every time he comes to me with a contract request, he just backs off as soon as I start talking to him. Oh, I think Ramirez and Carpentier I've got to do at the end of the year as well. But they're ones who've already promised to do it at the end of the year. But I'll do that one I'll do that one at the end of everything. By the way, I love the fact that the end of the season is technically 18 days away for those promises, by the way. Despite the fact we've got the Club World Championship at the end of May in 18 days. We're still playing football when that promise runs out. That's not the end of the season, is it then? You know what, actually, really shout out to Leeds. A net spend of less than 20 million. Recently re-promoted, and then 9th. Right, firm favourites for 18th place Southampton, as you would expect. And points record and wins record are both on the table right now. We can match both with a draw, but we don't want a draw. Incidentally, the Cup finals, because I know this is the last round of things, but with the Club World Championship on the horizon after that, I might end up doing both Cup finals together, because neither Cup final will have any of the end of the season stuff following it, thanks to the Club World Championship, I think. I might as well do them. Of course, if one of them goes to extra time and 90 minutes, then, well, the FA Cup. Of course, the FA Cup goes to extra time and penalties and what have you, for whatever reason, then it might end up being its own one. So, the final league match will be against Southampton here, and I'm going to go with what is my technical best 11, apart from one, because I'm not 100% certain if this is appearance number 5 or appearance number 6. I could check, I suppose. 4. He's had 4. Needs to start. So, apart from that one concession, Christian in goal, Kovalev, Azarta, Washington, Fiore. As good as Saxton has been, and as good as his long throws are helping, Kovalev is the better player. Vidarson, Seri in the middle, Carpentier and Cantoro, Godoy and Gonzalez. I don't know if Seri actually technically is the best player alongside Vidarson. However, he's my favourite. And frankly, Gonzalez, the only way is up from these last 5 performances. How do you average 6.3? 2 missed penalties, this is how that happens. Bloody penalties. Well, Seri with a long, deep free kick, and Azarta's hit the post in the first 2 minutes. Narrow it down, so 103 points is the target. We get that with a draw. 33 wins, we get that with a draw. However, we want 34 wins because that gives us both of the records. Their midfield is completely exposed. Like, I know we only play with 2 midfielders, but I'm slightly baffled by the fact they had all of that space. I feel like either they're going to work this wonderfully or we're going to pressure them into mistakes somewhere in this defensive line. Yep, there's the mistake. Godoy's nipped that off their defender and he's going to kick it straight at the goalkeeper. I can see that one coming a mile off. Just the way he beelined straight for him. I knew he was going to kick it straight at him. Resulting corner, Azarta, well over. Don't see that all that often. I think this is a resulting free kick, actually. Washington gets under it, plays a 1-2 with Seri, and now it's going to get worked across the back. No, it's going to be worked through to Seri once more. Now it's worked across to Carpentier. Not quite, though. And Sheridan finds himself in space on this, well, he's there left-hand side. Lungarzo on it, who's actually quite a good player. I'm not sure how he ended up in an 18th place side. And, well, Southampton here have a chance. Christian makes that look harder than it was. I suspect in 3D it probably looked more impressive. Worth noting, we do all the Cups and all the Club World Championship in 3D, I think. But for first v 18th, this is not going the way I expected. That's another highlight that starts with them, though. Although, we could get the ball off Sheridan here, perhaps. Or he can find Escobar on this far side. Hounding them again. Hounding them again. I mean, we're doing well on the pressing front, we're just not really getting the ball off them. There's no good pressing them if we don't get it. There we are. Cantoro has forced him into an error there. Gonzalez has just teleported back somehow. It would have been a really good chance to put Gonzalez through there if he hadn't teleported. Interesting punt from the goalkeeper there to no one in particular. I think that's a sliding tackle of Kovalev has ended up at Gonzalez's feet and he's hit the post. Okay, the highlights are starting to rack up now a little bit. As Kovalev's the one to come forward this time. Finds Seri in the middle. Carpentier back out wide again. And he's got past the defender quite easily. Smashed at the goalkeeper. Right, you cretins. The man stood between the 2 white posts. Don't kick it at him. It makes it easy for him. If you're going to kick it at him low. That will confuse him. They've got a free kick. This is going in because I know how Football Manager works. Thankfully, he's offside. Quite a way offside, in fact. But I know how Football Manager works. I could see that one coming. Very, very depressing I could see that one coming. A very late long throw from Fiore here ends with some kind of calamity in the box. It's their striker that's conceded the penalty. I'm not sure what for, though. I didn't see what it was. Gonzalez is going to step up for it. He scored a penalty, folks. Gonzalez has scored a penalty. I forgot with him being back on the pitch, he'd end up taking that. Ties for the 28 goals with Carpentier again. It's a race to the wire, that one. For a second there, it was only raining in the left-hand side of the pitch. It's returned again. It's scrappy, but it's a goal. Norwich are winning. Norwich are winning and Arsenal drawing. Oh, no, it's the nightmare scenario. If only Man United had won their game. That singular point from drawing with Man United. It's going to save them. Unless Newcastle nick something at the end, and they have been winning quite a bit. Apart from, obviously, the FA Cup semi-final they played against us. It's going to be really sad not to be able to play against my actual supported side for a while. Oh my god, Oscar's banged one in from absolutely nowhere, and we're suddenly drawing again. Stop focusing on Norwich and focus on this match. We've had 19 shots. 8 of them have been blocked. It's not like they've been all off target or anything. Out of bloody nowhere, a wonder goal has been scored by the team probably already relegated. I don't know what their situation... I haven't actually looked what their situation was. What? I'm so sorry, but what? It was drilled, but he had still about 20 seconds to save that. Yeah, winning won't save them. I don't know if that's because of West Ham's situation, but winning won't save them. What is happening here? I mean, the worst thing is I can't change anything because nothing makes my team better. Surrey bangs one in from outside the box as well. Not quite as impressive as Oscar's. And the points record's back on again. Liverpool usurp leads, I notice as well. 51 points seems so harsh for 10th. I don't know why, but it does. Surrey, though. Oh, it's a volley, though. That's quite a good finish, nonetheless. I don't know if he's left-footed by nature, either. Considering 7th is 56, finishing 10th on 51 seems very harsh. A long throw finishes with... 11th is 50 points with Newcastle. A long throw ends with Victor, and I'm slightly confused where this is going to go. It's been put through to their striker, who has kicked it straight at our goalkeeper, so thankfully they've been taking tips from ours. It's not convincing, this win, I'm not going to lie. It's not very convincing. Godoy's not been brilliant, so Dahl's going to come on. Nope, changed my mind. Ramirez is going to come on. Carpentier is going to move around. And it's going to end up like this. And sod it, actually, Yachenko for Cantoro, who has not been impressive. Not been terrible either. There is a corner. Azarta's under it. And there it is. Goal number 3. And it is the old classic. Norwich seem to be losing now, by the way. So, it doesn't make a difference. Azarta's there. It's gone in the goal. It's a corner. It's Azarta. It's near post. It's in. You do indeed love to see it. Ramirez. Whoa, it nearly makes it 4 as well. And actually rather flattering. 4-1 would be, in my opinion. Fiore was technically only good for 75 minutes again, so he's booked as well. We played him a little bit too long. His rating's not great, and he's booked. Off you come. And actually, the stats at the end of this game suddenly look a lot more dominant on our side of things. They might get another consolation goal here. Or we could go and nick a 4th. And the 4th has been nicked, I think, there. If he'd missed that, I would have been distraught. As it looks like Everton might end up beating Liverpool on goal difference, which is, well, it's something for the Blues of Liverpool, isn't it, really? But Carpentier, I called the goal before he even put it in, actually in the goal, but thankfully he didn't miss. He wants the goal record. 29. One ahead again. And it was looking very, very questionable for a while there. However, we have prevailed. Arsenal ended up 0-0. So Norwich couldn't have done anything if they had won. But it's a credible finish for Huddersfield. Leeds as well, you got to be said. Credible finishes for both of them. Super tight, that middle of the pack as well. 56 points through to Sheffield United on 49, who did have European football. I don't know how they've gotten on. I will check that one out. But of course, European football affecting the league performance. Can we nerf that a little bit next year, please? It is a bit dumb. This period here in December and January where they're not really even playing European football. Absolutely ridiculous. They had to play a lot of big sides in that, in fairness, including Norwich. Oh, they're actually in the Euro 2 final against PSV. They beat Juventus. Somehow, Juventus ended up in the Europa Conference League, or whatever it's called. They beat West Ham 6-2. Good God. That's nearly as much as what we did. I think we were 6-1? 6-0? No, they beat Juventus home and away. That is impressive. I've got to say, that is impressive. Well, keep an eye on that one then. And they're in the process of a takeover. Oh, it's a board takeover, which sounds internal. So it was worrying for a moment there, but the records have been broken. I suspect the news articles will come through today just to confirm those. I've got an achievement, legend. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it's good. There we are. Record high for us, of course. 105 points. I think we had 102 at one point. I remember saying that. A record high number of wins is a new division record as well. Oh, these actually are the Premier Division records. So 105 points, new record. 34 matches won, new record for that. and same for a season low. A singular defeat. Invincible's not quite. And 3 draws is a new low as well. Porto win the Portuguese one with Parkinson. Carpinteri's Footballer of the Year and Players Player of the Year. Neither of them get top goal scorer by virtue of the fact they were getting goals between them, I guess. But 26 goals from Mbrini gets him that award. And Young Player of the Year as well. I probably ought to praise him for one of these. There we are. The Norwich goalkeeper does end up with Golden Glove despite conceding on the final day. It doesn't actually say how many Christian got in the end, but 20 clean sheets for Mancia. Manager award. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be mad if the Norwich manager got Manager of the Year, although in fairness, 105 points. Any other year, I think the Norwich manager might have won that. The years where we're getting like 88 points to win it or whatever. How many clean sheets did Christian have? 19. If he'd kept a clean sheet on the final day, he would have drawn a wonder goal, just snatched the clean sheet record from him. Oh, that's a shame. I'm fairly certain he's broken the York record though, because he only needed one more, and we definitely got one against Man City and Chelsea. So, yeah. Azarta nips into second actually on the final day, average rating wise. Not bad. And Cantoro, 13 assists once more. Gotta say, the Arsenal fullbacks, Castillo seemed to have scored a lot, and Reece James has got a lot of assists. But there we are, 105 points. It's a new record. We will play both Leeds and Bayern Munich. Of course, I don't think Bayern Munich were the first team to knock us out of the Champions League. Were they not? The first time we were in the Champions League, we got through, ended up getting knocked out by them in the first knockout round. I'm pretty certain that's how that went. So, rather fitting that the last Champions League final you guys are going to see with us here on this series is going to be against them as well. So, Leeds in the FA Cup final. The last derby, the actual last derby this time, and Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I'll do them together unless the FA Cup final ends up being insanely long for whatever reason. We'll do them together, and then the Club Bowl Championship will be its own thing later on, and that'll be the swan song for this series. I can't believe the end is so close now, but until those episodes, I will see you for those. Ta-ra.